No one expected what happened in Rice News in the early half today, as no one saw this coming. If not for Reuben Abatti that escaped Rufai through the back door wisely, something tragic would have happened in Rice News. It is not what we're saying that we would have been saying. Rufai OSENI might have got himself in a very big trouble, and this happened a few hours ago amidst the time that they were analyzing what happened to Peter Obi, what Peter Obi said that sparked up a lot of reactions and all of that. Now something tragic happened amidst Rufai OSENI and a married colleague. An error occurred which makes Reuben Abatti to escape Rufai to the back door. So I'd like us to stay connected to the end of this video. The video finally leaked out in the early hours today, so if you can share this video, ensure you share it. It scattered the show. Share to different social media platforms. Let it go viral, and if you can share it, just like it as you're watching it, like it, give it a thumb up so that YouTube will recommend it for us. We'll be stay connected. I'm coming back again.
Welcome you back to LAJUPOG TV.
I don't have bad news for you today.
The home of religious gossip.
But you should leave the fight for Mohammed.
What is happening in the Christendom? Join now to make sense with LAJUPOG.
Hello my great and wonderful viewers, welcome back to LAJUPOG TV. For those of you coming across the channel for the very first time, ensure you click the registration button appearing on your video screen, and do well to click the notification bell icon so that whenever we drop a new video in few hours time, YouTube will easily let you to know. Something tragic happened in Rice News in the early half today, and the video leaked out. Though they may never want the video to leak out, but the video finally leaked out, and this is what I want to point your attention to today. I will unveil the video for you to see in this very video what really happened. Rufai OSENI got himself in a very big trouble in the early half today. If not for Reuben Abatti and that show that escaped Rufai through the back door. Reuben used his utmost sense in that very show. You know, the show scattered black and blue, but at least Reuben still find a way to still sort it and take Rufai through the back door. So I'd like us to stay connected to the end of this video. No one ever see this coming, including Rufai or OKPE and even Ayo. Plus Reuben Abatti, none of them actually see this coming in the early half today. They were making a peaceful show and they were talking based on what Peter Obi said that have caused a lot of reactions on media. They never know that this thing is going to come. So stay connected to the end of this video. I'm going to be playing you the video. You will see everything yourself, how it happened. You are not going to watch any audio format in this place. You are seeing a full video of it. So if you can share this video, ensure you share it. Share to different social media platforms. Let it go viral. And if you can share it, just like it as you're watching it. Like the video. Give it a thumb up. Just feel free. Give it a thumb up so that it will be recommended for us. You know, a lot of people have been attacking Reuben Abatti right from time. They said he's a supporter of Tinubu and all of that. That is not a supporter of no Nigeria. That whenever Rufai is making something in point, that Reuben Abatti always come up with a useless point that will sabotage all the points that Rufai is making. So they only see Reuben Abatti at times, not all. They only see Reuben Abatti as someone that does not want to call a spade a spade. But looking at what Reuben Abatti did in early after today, it deserves an accolade. A lot of people clap for Reuben Abatti. If not, Rufai OSENI would have caused a drastic trouble that he will not be able to solve. You know, they were making comments based on what Peter Obi said and all of that regarding the road infrastructure thing. And you know, it's not more the news that Nigeria government are now building Lagos to Calabar expressway and all of that, which is a very nice project. And this project cost trillions of naira. But Peter Obi came out and made it known to the general public that the new project that they are embarking on, they should have suspended it and focus on the old roads in Nigeria. And you saw the video when it circulated online 2 days ago and even yesterday. You know, we're already in rainy season and there are a lot of potholes on the road, especially the road of Benin and some other states, and you saw tanker entering the road and falling down in the erosion. You saw video is circulated online. Now you can see the video on this video again. You are seeing it right now on your video screen.
Jesus, and then they tell them now, driver dey inside though. He don't ready though. Driver dey inside though. You know, see some wicked, he don't. Oh.
for tankers should not be able to move peaceably on roads, and the government is out there. They are not facing the old roads, and they're investing Nigerian money on new roads that we did not even know the future yet. Peter Abatti said they should go back to the old road and readjust the old road instead of building a new road. And that's the comment that Peter Abatti gave that sparked up a lot of reactions. And that is what Rufai, OSENI and Reuben Abatti are trying to address in this very video before the trouble loom out in the early afternoon. So stay connected to the end of this video. You will see everything yourself. You should not be like as if I'm the one that is saying everything. Just stay connected and see the video for yourself. I'm coming back again.
Took a dramatic turn on Wednesday after the Minister of Works, David UMAHI, accused property owners of playing politics. The minister also accused the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, who has been quite vocal about the project, of inciting the people of the Southeast, who, according to him, are not well informed about the project, against the federal government. Let's take a look.
I just believe that my brother Landmark is simply playing politics with, politicians, because there is nothing to claim. It brings me to some of the comments made by my brother, His Excellency Peter Obi. I'm not supposed to comment about it because some people have already done the work, and I saw what Arise brought, the say courtesy channel, and they were bringing, similar scenario when His Excellency Peter Obi was governor, and he made a statement. He said, any infrastructure that stands on the way of road construction must go, and there will be no compensation paid, quote and unquote. That's what he said. But look at me, by the human face of Renewed Hope Agenda administration, we are even paying for people that are illegally staying on the coastline and do not even have, valid infrastructure and valid documents. That is messy. That is messy. Some people darken counsel without knowledge. There is devil in details. When you bring judgment, when you condemn people, you bring judgment upon yourself. And that's what he has done. And I think he's inciting some of the Southeast people that are not well informed. He's inciting them, and he gets them into trouble, and he doesn't go to fight for them. Wisdom is a defense. We know money is a defense. But wisdom gives life to those that practice it. And I want our people to have wisdom because I'm involved.
All right, Dave UMAHI here. He made a lot of, statements yesterday that were, I believe, quite inflammatory because, some people were saying, who made him the mouthpiece of the Igbo people? And he's talking about the fact that, Peter Obi is inciting the Southeast people. I don't know where that is coming from because I believe he was referring to the video that we played yesterday where, Peter Obi had talked about reconstructing the roads. But, in Anambra State when he was governor, Peter Obi has responded. Well, in his response, Peter Obi, in a series of tweets, clarified the video in circulation, stating that during his tenure as governor of Anambra State, he made it abundantly clear that all structures obstructing existing roads and lacking approval will be removed, and that his actions were aimed at prioritizing the repair and maintenance of existing infrastructure to safeguard the livelihoods of Nigerians and to ensure the efficient use of resources. He also addressed the comparisons and UMAHI's accusation. His tweet reads in part, "The ongoing destruction and disruption of jobs and livelihoods associated with the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road construction sharply contrasts with my administration's efforts to improve infrastructure while minimizing adverse impacts on communities. Regarding allegations of incitement against the government, I firmly reject these unfounded accusations aimed at tarnishing my character. My focus is on fostering constructive dialogue and inclusivity, rather than engaging in divisive politics. Claims of incitement are baseless distractions. I have always advocated for unity and advancement, refusing to partake in reactionary, divisive politics. And we know that of Peter Obi because we have seen a lot of his statements on Twitter. He's very active on Twitter and he always calls for unity and all whatnot. But that's not the only thing that happened yesterday. Again, in clarifying the video that was in circulation, Peter Obi maintained that he was removing infrastructure that was already on existing roads, and you know, it was different from what's actually happening now. Well, during the question and answer session with journalists, the minister was asked about the approval process of the project by our environmental correspondent, Leila Johnson-Salami, which apparently unsettled the minister, as he claimed that he could not understand her question because of her accent. Let's take a look.
Good morning, sir. Leila from Arise News. You mentioned the ESIA is currently being carried out by...
Sister, I was raised in the village. Me, I'm not here for me.
Well,
so
sorry.
So try to speak.
I can't help the way I speak. You mentioned that the ESIA was being carried out at the moment. The EIA Act of 1992...
I need interpreter.
Well, you have enough people next to you. The EIA Act of 1992 states that an EIA must be approved by the Federal Ministry of Environment before the commencement of any project, unless an exemption has been given. It's not done so.
There is preliminary approval. There is final approval.
Has an exemption been given? And if so, if you have the preliminary approval...
Exemption of what?
For the project to start without the final approval. If you have the preliminary approval, can this be shared with the public?
We are following due process.
So can we have a copy of the
federal
preliminary
government
approval?
That gives the approval. It's not you.
So can we have a copy of the preliminary approval?
We have the approval.
And you can make that public to the media?
Everything in order.
Okay, thank you.
2 more questions, please.
First of all, we at Arise News commend Leila Johnson-Salami for standing her ground. She was a true gem. She represented true journalism. Rufai.
I mean, Leila, top marks for you. Don't worry. We'll see where we used to see. You know now. But Leila raised a very important question, and I'm happy Peter Obi has clarified. And I think UMAHI was just rigmaroling and trying to divert attention by saying Peter Obi is inciting people. He's not inciting anybody. There's something you call scale of preference in a project. We can't be doing a project of over 1 trillion over 7 kilometers when the Ekpoma road is in a very dire condition and people cannot pass that road. There are other roads that need attention. So it's not sailing. So this is trying to distract, it's not working. But Leila asked a pertinent question about EIA.
Correct.
EIA goes through a very, very regimented process according to the EIA Act of 92 that she talked about. This project falls under category 1 because it's also an infrastructure and it's also reclamation of land. And you need a very copious a process that involves the stakeholders. And it takes time to be able to get. At first, you write a proposal, you go through the first process, they reply to you, then you go through scoping. This project has started long before now. They've done over 1 kilometer. We should ask him what EIA did he get before they started the project. I'll give you a document I'm seeing that's circulating now. That the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway Project Phase 1, blah, 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 Madu Bello and all of that, invitation letter for scoping workshop of the ESIA and RAP studies was just done on the 20th of April. You can't be doing scoping on the 20th of April and by 1st of May you're already demolishing this property. Because those stakeholders are not carried along. You know, this EIA, you also need to advertise it. There's a 21-day working day threshold and a couple of other thresholds you need to be able to take. That's why a lot of people are asking, what's the plan? Look at this, something you have shown. The environmental impact assessment. Do you know that there are pipes underground that goes through all of this? There are sewage pipes, there are many other pipes. What was done as regards all of this? Even the water body, what was done as regards the environmental impact assessment? And that's why Leila asked a very pertinent question. And we should also ask him this morning. Did he follow the due process of EIA? I'm not saying EIA that afterwards some people will flip out a document that they got from somewhere. Did he follow the due process of EIA? What is the advertisement with the stakeholders and all of that? Because that stakeholders one was already to pay compensation. That means there was a completion of EIA. When was it completed? If the scope was just announced, we're seeing a document that says, oh, the 20th of April.
All right.
So we're going to ask for the EIA.
Absolutely.
and ask the empirical questions.
Important.
Absolutely.
Rufai, you were talking about Leila Johnson Salami earlier on. You said, oh, don't worry, we know where you meet. Be reminded that Leila Johnson Salami is a married woman.
We meet in the office.
So transparency. Let transparency start from here. Because if the husband, if a married woman, you say we know where we meet. No, please. You are a young man. I don't want you to get into trouble. But that's on the lighter side. But I like the composure of Leila Johnson Salami. The minister tried to rattle her, but she stayed on point and she asked her question. The significance of what she was asking for was transparency and accountability. The onus is on the Minister of Works, David UMAHI, to prove the point that indeed due process has been followed in this Lagos Calabar project. That's the significance of the question that was put to him. And Leila asked him, will you make it public? So he has a responsibility,
absolutely,
you know, to show that this is something that is being done in a transparent manner. Now you mentioned Peter Obi. Peter Obi is not the first person to raise issues about that Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway. Before him, Atiku Abubakar did. Atiku Abubakar questioned the procurement process. The Waziri Adamawa said, look, this project is something being done to promote personal business interest of the president.
Thank you for staying connected, my great and wonderful viewers. You can see what Reuben Abatti actually did in this video. You can see the mistake of Rufai OSENI in this very video. You see, there's nobody that is above mistake. That is one thing that I know about life. Anybody that is above mistake is due to destruction and condemnation and all of that. Rufai OSENI is known to be very intelligent and is one of the best Nigerian journalists. And you know, the likes of Rufai OSENI and Sheikh Okinbaloye of Channel Television, those are the two best journalists that we have in Nigeria so far, that will always confront the politicians, ask them intellectual questions that will unveil their buttocks out, and they always come out to call a spade a spade. These people don't sugarcoat words. That is why we love Rufai OSENI so much. But there's nobody that is above mistake. Rufai did not know the right word to use. That was why I actually said it in that very video, that we know where we meet. And you know, had it been that Reuben Abatti did not call his attention to it, that statement can actually cause a lot of problem to the marriage of that lady. Because if the husband happens to be the husband that is not understandable, the husband that does not understand that this thing is a mere joke or play or just a TV show or all of that, if it's a jealous husband, it can actually crash the marriage. But Reuben Abatti, as an elderly man, called the attention of Rufai to it because Rufai has spoke about this and they have even passed it because it does not mean it. So Rufai did not mean that statement, but Reuben have to call his attention to it to make clarity so that the husband of that lady will not be asking questions that he's not supposed to ask regarding what really happened in that very scenario. You know, Reuben is a very intelligent man and he is very intelligent. That's why in most cases we need to have an elderly person in a place. Yes, Rufai is very intelligent, but at times we make mistakes. Even Peter Obi make mistakes in many of his speech at times, but he stand to be corrected. The moment you stand to be corrected, you are good to go. Unlike some people that can never be corrected, once you correct them, you are their enemy. You can see the way Reuben was correcting Rufai. Rufai was even laughing because he knows that Reuben is actually saying the right thing. Yes, Reuben usually mash line at times, which we did not like him for. But in this very video, he actually deserves an accolade. Yes, dating you back to what Peter Obi said in that very video. You know, UMAHI was attacking Peter Obi that Peter Obi is inciting violence from the Igbo to Tinubu, that is inciting the Igbos against Tinubu. You know, Peter Obi came out and made it known that what UMAHI is saying is a total rubbish. And even Rufai OSENI said it in that very video that UMAHI is just a ranty human being. He's just ranting baselessly. It does not have any point because what Peter Obi said is actually the true fact, and that is what a lot of Nigerians have been saying. You know, Peter Obi said for the rules of Nigeria to be bad, the old rules for them to be bad, and they are not conducive for vehicles and all of that. You actually saw the tanker that fell in that water. That's a Benin road. That's the road in Benin. For that tanker should fall inside that pothole and the tanker somersaulted and all of that, you should know that that road is very, very bad, even to the extent that the water that gathered on the road pothole, people can actually swim through. You can see those guys swimming through this thing to go and rescue the people inside the tanker. This is how bad the roads of Nigerians are, and Nigeria government is out there busy doing Lagos Calabar Expressway, which is not even at the need at the moment. We need the old road fees. That's what Peter Abatti is saying, and Peter Abatti have said that statement before the tanker fell yesterday. So the roads of Nigeria are bad, even to the extent that the road is bad to the extent that your goods will use up to 2 weeks on road before they get to you. This is not supposed to be. The goods that is not supposed to stay up to 12 hours in road is using 2 weeks just because the driver wants to drive carefully because the road is so terribly bad. And that's the condition of Nigeria road. Now, a lot of people are actually saying that the Lagos Calabar Expressway that they were doing is just a way of embezzling more money and all of that, because Nigeria government have actually allocated 1 trillion for the roads and all of that just to mend the part of the road. That 1 trillion is not to the completion of the road. They will still pay another money according to report. So that is what is out there, and this is the statement that Peter Abatti actually made that make UMAHI to come out to the general public and made it in live broadcast that Peter Abatti is inciting Igbos against Tinubu, which is not so. So you can really see what really transpired in our license in the early after that. You can see the causative agent, what actually caused it. UMAHI caused all those things and all of that, because that lady was trying to ask UMAHI intellectual question, and for Rufai to give the lady an accolade because they are colleagues, for him to give the lady an accolade, the trouble looms out. So that was what happened in the early after day. I didn't mean that Reuben Abatti did not call the attention of Rufai OSENI to that very thing. A lot of people will start posting it on media that Rufai OSENI is having something to do with that lady Nenda or whatever she's called and all of that. So that's what they will be saying. They will say Rufai OSENI is a womanizer, that he has something to do with the married woman and all of that. So a big thanks to Reuben Abatti and all of that. So drop a opinion in the comment section on this video. So a big thanks to Reuben Abatti, and for the fact that Reuben Abatti escaped Rufai through the back door is a figure of expression. Just know that, because what actually happened in that place, he make Rufai to bypass the trouble that is supposed to come thereafter. So drop a opinion in the comment section on this video. I'm gonna dedicate that thing for you. Ensure you follow me on my social media handles on Facebook at LAJUPOG TV and LAJUPOG Entertainment, and on Instagram at LAJUPOG. Guess what, guys? See you in my next video. Bye.
I see the hot for my body, I say make I yarn you. Religious gossip plenty day for body. Pastor with the line on top, he pastor for LAJUPOG Watch TV. Pastor with the bar, where politician with the do pass himself. All the while you waiting for church. All as LAJUPOG Watch TV.